to have that last name. But look, we just did what we thought was right all the time. And we were true to ourselves, and no one more so than Donald Trump. And it is interesting to see the culture shift, because it became counterculture to be a Republican. It became the cool thing to do, to be a Republican, anti-establishment. And since the dawn of these parties, that really hasn't been the case.
Yeah.
It is right now, and I think it's because of one man, because of Donald Trump. He never gave up. He never stopped fighting for this country. He never he was fake about anything. And good, bad, or indifferent, you got to take, like you just said, you got to take the good with the bad. And while he's not perfect, he's perfect for right now. And I think a lot of people saw what he went through over the past several years. They understood that this is a man who knows it's so much bigger than him. And I think that's the thing we all felt. None of this was ever about us. This is about the country. And when it's bigger than you, it's easy to fight for it. Even in the midst of all the chaos and all the negativity and really feeling like you're fighting an uphill battle so many times. But you know what? I think that the American people are smart. And I think there was only so long that the wool could be pulled over their eyes. And once you start becoming, you know, a meme, but a funny meme, or the Trump dance starts taking over, or you're talked about again in rap songs like you once were prior to running for president, that's when you know a culture shift has happened. And yeah, it's really palpable out there. People are unafraid to say they're Republican. They're unafraid to say that they voted for Donald Trump. What's funny to me is I've heard from a lot of people that their neighbors didn't have any Trump signs up prior to the election. But after Election Day, they all put their Trump signs up. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I wish they were up before, but that's okay with me, because I want everybody on board. And even those people, Marissa, who didn't vote for Donald Trump, I actually believe they're going to see something happen over the next 4 years that really is going to be hard for them to look away from in a very positive way with Donald Trump. I think they're going to understand they've been lied to about this man. I think they're going to understand that he really is the right person for right now. Everything that he has gone through has been so that he can do what's right for this country. And I think once people start seeing those changes happen, they're going to wake up even more. Most of America, I feel like, has woken up. We won the popular vote in this election. But the culture shift has been absolutely fascinating to watch. And I'll give it to God and Donald Trump. They did it.
You know, so many people would accuse Donald Trump of being a narcissist, and that the reason he was running and now is going to become president is because it's all about him and him wanting, you know, his glory. What's your reaction to that, given how well you know him?
It's so false. Nothing could be farther from the truth. It's easy to throw that at Donald Trump. He's a narcissist. A narcissist would not have put himself through hell and back for something like this. A narcissist, at the first inclination of some sort of pain for themselves, would have said, I can't do this anymore. This isn't worth it for me. I want to take an easy way out. This, you know, I can do things that are a bigger deal than this and not, you know, receive all of the incoming at the same time. He never did that. He stood his ground and he fought hard, and he took a bullet for this country, I would say. Most people, after having an experience like that is a near-death experience. He was millimeters away from death. And a lot of people would have looked at that and said, I see what this is, and I see the attempts on my life, and I can't do this anymore. It's not worth it. But again, when it is so much bigger than you, and I think after that experience, especially on July 13th in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, I don't think there's any doubt that God had a hand in this. And if you ask my father-in-law, he will tell you he's here right now because God wanted him to be here, and he believes that his charge is to do what's right, to save America, and by doing that, really save the world.
How did that horrific and scary experience impact the family? Are you afraid?
I'm not, because he's not.
He's not afraid?
No. I know, he's a remarkable human being. It's one of those things, like if you're on an airplane and there's
just switch it, but
if the flight attendants are calm, then you're like, all right, well, I guess everything's going to be okay. He, throughout the course of all of this, the raid on Mar-a-Lago, beautiful Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, that ain't little as free, like Fred Van Vliet with me.
One after another, the mugshot, the assassination attempts. He has never showed any fear whatsoever. He's never been concerned on any of these fronts whatsoever. We all were.
You gotta relax,
very
relax. I'm trying to set you the screen. You playing too fast. Relax.
As family members, but when you look at him, he's cool as a cucumber. He's calm. He's relaxed. He knows that everything's going to be okay. And when someone acts like that, it makes you then.
What you want me to do? The switch? I take the pen. We play zone. Basically,
we play zone. I mean, honestly, I think a lot about the people who probably would like to see Donald Trump not exist.
No, I was one of my man could shoot.
It's always in the back of my mind. It's always in the back of my husband's mind and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and all of us. I'm sure Melania. But you can't operate like that. You know, you have to focus on the good things and you have to believe that God has him here for a purpose and that God's going to continue to look out for him. He did it twice already. I believe he'll continue to do it.
How do you handle the relationships with people who are suddenly your best friends again? I know that I'm experiencing it. I went from having leprosy to suddenly being healed. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine that you lost a lot of friends throughout the years and regained some random ones. Yeah. How do you choose who to trust? And do you forgive?
We always I can facilitate too,
and I think we all kind of feel like that in the Trump family. Look, I'll never forget who was right here at Mar-a-Lago in November 2022 when Donald Trump announced he was running for president again. And I'll never forget the people who also thought that maybe I'd forget about it, maybe Eric would forget about it, maybe Donald Trump would forget about it, that had really unkind things to say. And having gone through this now 3 times, and having had the 4 years of my father-in-law in the White House, you do learn a little bit more about how to read people, how to judge people. And look, nothing's perfect. I certainly was burned the first time around
that's what I'm saying. Let me run it. That's what I'm saying. Let me run it though. I'm here. I got you.
In the Trump family. And I think we have a small core group of people who we know we can trust, and those people will be in our lives probably forever. And you guard yourself. And it's, I don't want to say it's a shame you have to operate like that. I think everybody naturally does that in your life, no matter who you are. But we have seen a lot. We've learned some hard lessons before. And we'll remember who was there, and we'll remember who wasn't there. And I'll always be kind to people. I always welcome people to come on the team. If you're on the team now, you're on the team now, and I like that. But, you know, with a certain amount of reservation, we have to be smart about it.
Do you think some of those smart lessons are being applied now with the new administration? People are critical of some of the outsiders that are being brought in, but I'd only imagine that there is some issues with trust from the past.
Yeah. Well, Donald Trump himself will be the first to say, look, if there's one mistake I made, basically before I even took office, it was that I didn't know people in Washington, D.C. I'd never been a politician before. This was all brand new to me, and quite frankly, no one expected him to win, so it wasn't like there was a whole team putting together a transition crew for him in 2016. And so when he won, he did heavily rely on people at the RNC, people who were establishment folks in Washington, D.C., and obviously a lot of that was to his detriment. These are people who worked behind the scenes to stab him in the back, to sell stories, to leak to the press as much as they possibly could, instead of actually doing the job that they should have been doing for the people of this country. Having taken those lessons in, believe me, he's not apt to make that mistake again. He's got a lay of the land. He knows who he can trust there. He knows who he can't trust. And if you look at the team of people he's assembled around him, I think it's very indicative. Are they the most typical political choices to appoint people in these cabinet positions? Absolutely not. But Donald Trump is not a typical politician. And likewise, he doesn't have a typical cabinet. And I think that's actually going to be one of his great strengths over the next 4 years, is that he's putting people in place who, of course, he knows he can trust. But he knows
that's a hit. Come on, I'm about to say that's a hit. Come on.
These jobs. They are not
hell no, that shit was clean.
Identity politics hires. They are not there for any other reason than that they need to get in there. They need to do the hard work, and we have 4 years to accomplish a lot for this country, and he knows they'll be able to do it.
It's also an interesting blend because they're not all the same. Not all the people that he's choosing. And so sometimes people are like, what? I can't believe he chose this one. Oh, but thank God he chose that one. And I feel like many people are having that kind of a reaction, but maybe that's what unifies.
Yeah.
No, I was saying you're supposed to that wing. Come on, man. Come here, come back. Come here.
About my father-in-law. And I'll be the first to admit it. I've told him this. There have been times in the past where I will call him and I'll say, I don't know,
be patient. Stay on.
you should look at this differently.
Stay patient.
He'll be like, no, I think you have to trust me on this. And 6 months, a year, 2 years even sometimes later, I'm like,
still that, come on now.
He was right.
Yeah.
He understands so much of what needs to happen in this country and how he has to apply it in his cabinet and who he needs to have by his side to do these things. It's funny because I've stopped second guessing him. Any decision he makes in so many cases. Now, I'll tell him if I think something is off.
Is he open to that?
Oh,
is he open to criticism and pushback?
I actually think that he appreciates it, to be honest with you. And he's a person who likes to get input from everybody.
Okay, I'm going to say, play the top. I got your head.
On a plane with him or whatever it is, at a dinner with him.
It's all you.
And a topic comes up. He probably is going to ask everybody in the room, and he seeks out the person who's kind of like looking down, like, don't call him, like, don't ask me. Like, what do you think about this? He wants to get that input, but then he ultimately makes that decision. And it's just funny because so many of the things that I've pushed back on him so hard in the past for, he actually ultimately was right. And so I think a lot of people who might have questions or concerns about some of these appointments are going to come to see that really it's the best possible fit.
It's a pretty young administration.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so interesting.
It's a young and the word the Democrats like to use, diverse and different administration. Yeah. My gosh, you have former Democrats and some people who I don't even know what their political affiliation is, and Donald Trump says, I don't care, because I know they're going to do a great job and I know they're the right fit for these positions. But that's what we want. I think that's to have, it's no different than us coming into the RNC, having fresh eyes on things. Most of these people have not been in Washington, D.C. in this capacity before. You have Tulsi Gabbard, who was a former Democrat congresswoman. You have RFK Jr., whose name is synonymous with Democrat politics. They're coming together for this administration because of Donald Trump. That's the team he's assembled around him. I think it's fantastic.
It's so interesting. How did the family react to bringing in former Democrats? Were they thinking, oh my gosh, what is Donald Trump doing? Or were they into it?
I love it. Look, I actually believe, and I know people will say this is crazy, Donald Trump will be the person to unify this country. I really believe it. As divisive a figure as the media has tried to make him, I believe he will be the person who really bridges the gap between Democrats and Republicans. I believe he will be the person who really opens a lot of people's eyes in this country. And look, you can give him credit for getting people re-involved in politics or involved in the first place. A lot of people are just kind of like asleep. Vote every 4 years, maybe, not really. Whether you love Donald Trump or you don't,
I'm gonna say you playing too fast, trying to set you the screen. You playing too fast,
and that's a great thing for our country.
Dribble up, tumble up.
No, I don't think any of us had any concerns about that. I love it. I think that that's who this man is. He really has never cared about a label with anybody, and you can go back and look at his company, and look at the people who he had in some of the best and the highest positions in his company. Some of the executives in the Trump organization were unlikely people. They started as drivers or doormen or security guards, and he saw something in these people, and he said, why don't you take a chance, and why don't I see if you can do something different? No other person would have given them a shot, but Donald Trump did. And I think that there's a lot of that in what you see him doing as a president. And I think that that's such a good thing for this country, such a refreshing thing for this country, whether it's the people he has working alongside him in this administration, or whether it's how he executes the job of being commander-in-chief and president of the United States. To do things a little bit differently and come at it from a bit of a different perspective than the old guard, than the standard political background. That is so good for this country. And we saw it the first 4 years.
Throw that motherfucker.
It made it very challenging for him. He had a lot of wind resistance, shall we say, that he had to work against. But I think that this time around, it'll be very different. He's got a lay of the land. He knows what needs to happen. And I think that kind of background and that kind of mind is so great for this country.
Laura, there are so many people around the country who have been told that a monster is coming in to power. What is your message to them?
Donald Trump will work hard for you. Whether you voted for him or not, whether you want to give him an opportunity to really see what he can do as president or not, he's going to work hard for you, and he's going to make your life better. And, you know, I don't blame him either, Marissa, for believing those things, because I say it all the time. If I got my information and my news from certain outlets, I would probably think he's a monster too. But I actually know him. This is my father-in-law. I've known him for 16 years, and I can tell you that he has such a great heart. He's such a great human being. He's a great father-in-law, a great dad to my husband and his siblings, and a great grandpa to my kids. I hope people will give him an opportunity. I hope that they take a minute and just remove what they've heard about Donald Trump from the equation and say, let's look at what he's actually doing. Is he doing anything scary? No, you know what he's doing? He's trying to protect America. He's trying to protect you. He's trying to protect your family, the future of this country. He wants us to have a safe and secure country. He wants us to have safe communities. He wants us to have more money in our pockets. He doesn't want us to send our next generation overseas to fight wars we have no business being in. He wants to make sure that the right things are happening, and whether you voted for him or not, he will do it for you. And trust me, your life will be better because of him.
Go ahead, Vince.
What is your message to women who've been told that he's a scary monster?
It's the same thing, I think. You know, it's sad that that's the tactic that is utilized.
No, we good, bro. We just gotta work, bro. We here, bro. Do that shit every trip.
Fear-mongering and scare tactics.
That shit gonna get y'all better.
I think when you've reached that level, you've lost already. And I think that I had a great feeling about this election. Obviously, I left no chance. We kept our foot on the gas. But once they started employing those tactics, I think it became pretty clear you have no other message.
Do you remember that ad that Kamala had where women were voting secretly?
Take that.
So their husbands won't find out. Do you remember that one? I don't think I'll ever forget it. It's so demeaning. You know, hide it from your husband.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Draw down. Go to that wing.
Whether you're talking about, you know, they love to bring up the abortion debate. That was a main driver for the Democrats this election. Donald Trump has said, and you'll see the proof is in the pudding when he's in the White House, he will not sign a federal abortion ban, that the most democratic of things has happened. The issue of abortion, which no two people will probably look at alike in this country, has gone back to the states so that every person in America can actually vote on this. It's not left up to 9 people in Washington, D.C. It's not left up to 1 person in Washington, D.C. It's up to all of us in our respective states to vote on it. Some states will be very liberal in their interpretation of abortion laws. Some will be stricter. But whatever you've been sold about this man has been to play to your emotions. And the truth of the matter is, what he actually wants to do,
I thought we were switching that shit.
I hope you really take a long, hard look. And I hope that you really see how you were lied to. We're already seeing the lies being exposed. And I believe that light will come to all the dark places. I really ultimately believe that. Like I said, I think the truth ultimately comes out. And you're starting to see it happen now. Like you were lied to about Joe Biden's cognition. You were lied to by Kamala Harris about that. Then she ran for president, took his place, they kicked him right out of that spot, plugged her in. They continued to lie to you about a whole host of things. And they've been lying about who Donald Trump is as well. And if you just give him a chance, I promise you will see the same.
We should laud him on that bed, let him fly on me.
What is the family's reaction to the charges against Donald Trump being dropped now?
Yeah. Well, did anyone have any idea that there were anything other than political?
The
whole reason all of this happened was to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. Well, he's president now. He's going to be president on January 20th of 2025. And I think it's one of the actual reasons that a lot of people voted for Donald Trump. I think they saw how they attacked this one man and thought to themselves, wait a minute, is this America? Or is this a communist country? Yeah. These are Soviet-style tactics being used against one man for political purposes. And you can look at any of the different cases and very clearly see how if the name wasn't Donald Trump and you weren't running for president, none of this would have ever happened. Obviously, I'm glad to see that that's occurring, but I think there's a long way that we have to go to restore trust in a lot of these agencies, and a lot of these are fundamental to our country. You know, you have to be able to trust our Department of Justice. A lot of people don't right now because they've seen how it's being used and weaponized against one man for politics. And I think that's why a lot of these appointments are going to be important. He's not looking to go in for revenge. He's not looking to go in for retribution. He says success will be my revenge, but he does want to restore much needed trust to a lot of these agencies and a lot of these foundational pieces to our country. And look, I hope part of that started on November 5th, whenever people said, oh wait, there wasn't massive cheating and widespread fraud in this election. But there's so much more that needs to be done, and I think that's also one of the things that he really wants to focus on over the next 4 years.
It's a huge issue that we can't trust our institutions.
Yes.
How do we live in a country without trusting the medical system,
I thought you was going to shoot that motherfucker.
The legal system, every single one of these issues, and what a behemoth to tackle.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we have great minds like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy coming in, working for free at Doge, making sure we're cleaning up the wasteful spending and the unnecessary spending in our government.
You gotta stay on the side. Stay on the side. If you were dribbling, you gotta stay on the side.
Making sure you get people put in place who are not out there to, weaponize the system against another political opponent. The people who actually did it to Donald Trump. But look, if you did something against the law, you should be held accountable. We should never see another time like this in the United States of America. The founders of our country are probably rolling over in their grave, looking at what has occurred in this country over the past couple of years, because this is what they wanted to prevent from happening. And I'm so grateful that the people of this country saw through it. They understood what was going on, and they rose to the occasion. Because it would have been easy to say, the whole system's broken, nothing's going to change.
Some people did that.
Some people did do that.
We snatched that.
So many came out, though, that it was such a resounding win. And look, I would have taken a win's a win. I would have taken any win possible.
Just be the shooter. I got you.
This win was so important with the popular vote, with 312 electoral votes, with all the swing states won by Donald Trump. The movement.
I'm gonna say I can do that all game, bro.
New York, New Jersey, Virginia.
I doubt it.
That is really powerful, and I think it speaks to the fact that the people want their country back. They want things set straight. They want it done the proper way. And they really believe Donald Trump will be the person to do it.
What else can we do, Laura? How do we continue being supportive of the cleanup crew and everything that needs to be done? Everyday Americans, we want to do more to save our country.
Well, I think you can get involved in whatever way you can at a local level. I think, one of the things that has really occurred to me over the past 9 years, and it's crazy to say it's been 9 years since we all got involved in this in the Trump family, is that we need more good people to run for these jobs. And whether it's at the top as President of the United States or whether it's your local school board, there's always something you can do. And I would also say educate yourself. Continue to learn and continue to be open to learning information and seek a lot of different sources. Please don't just go get it from one source because you're probably not getting the full picture. I think that all will be important to the future of this country because, look, we're really blessed to know that Donald Trump will be there for 4 years. But 4 years from now, we'll be in the midst of another transition. And whoever is going to take the helm after Donald Trump will certainly not be able to just take their foot off the gas. They're going to have to keep pushing forward and making sure that, this country stays on the right track. It was never given to us, and it was never said to be easy. We have to work for it. We have to fight for it. We fought for it this time. We have to keep it, and I think it'll be important.
I was going to the shooter. That was
up to
we didn't do that. We didn't do that for a minute. I was not expecting
education got us into this mess. Education will have to get us out of this mess, and so I'm very enthusiastic to see what happens with the Department of Education. But not only that, I think the mama bears have woken up, and so have the dads, and so there's a lot to be done. I love the idea of running for school board and just getting involved in kids' education and making sure that the next generation knows that there's something worth fighting for. We've been teaching our kids to hate their own country.
Drop it to me.
That's what we bonded over originally a few years ago is how do we raise Americans that love America?
Right. Well, and I think we have to. It's insane that we've taught anybody to hate our own country. No other country does that in the world. You look at the problem at the southern border. Certainly Kamala Harris and Joe Biden invited all of these people in when they said, oh, we're rolling back everything Donald Trump put in place. Stop building the wall. It is egregious what's going on at our southern border. I've gone down and actually seen it with my own eyes, and it's unbelievable to talk to some of the Border Patrol. But you have to ask yourself, why is it people want to come here? Why is it people are willing to risk their lives to come to America? Why is it that a third of the women coming up are sexually assaulted, and yet they're still willing to go through that? Why is it people are sending their children unaccompanied with coyotes to the United States of America? It's because this is the greatest country on earth. It is because we're not perfect. We're working towards that every single day. But you are never going to find a place as free as America. You are never going to find a place where it doesn't matter who you are, how you started, what your foundation is. You have the opportunity in America with hard work and spirit to rise to any level of success. Just look at our next vice president, J.D. Vance. He's a great example of that. And so I think that it is so important to start teaching our kids really who we are as a country. And we take it all, the good and the bad. You have to teach history, or history is doomed to repeat itself. And I think that Linda McMahon at the Department of Education will be a great fit. I think she's going to do an incredible job. And I think that you're going to see a lot of big change coming to specifically education in this country, and it's needed.
What do you think is next for you? What are you planning on doing next?
We're supposed to keep dribbling.
What am I going to do?
Everybody's asking.
You know, it's amazing because
you're not dribbling. You're barely dribbling. Oh, God.
You know, I think back to growing up in Wilmington, North Carolina. I went to public schools my whole life. I have such an incredible family. My parents are still married. They've been married for 44 years now and still live in the same home I came back to the hospital from. I don't know. I think that I've seen the incredible side of all of this. You know, we've seen the good and the bad with politics. I certainly have seen the worst of the worst, but I've also seen how impactful one person can be on something. And to be able to travel this country like I have really since 2016, see people, hear their stories, understand how their lives have been impacted by specifically my father-in-law, it's been transformational. It's been incredible to hear, and to have played a role as co-chair of the RNC and fought, you know, alongside an incredible team of people. And so I'm kind of open to whatever the future holds. Honestly, I put it in God's hands. I really do, and I'm lucky that I have a great supportive husband who, no matter what kind of crazy idea I come home with, I'm like, hey, listen to this one. Your dad called me. He's always going to be there.
Is he supportive of that?
Oh, yeah. No. It's funny because not being born a Trump, you have an idea in your mind as to like what Trump's might be like. And I certainly, when I found out my husband's last name, after we first met, I didn't know initially who Eric Trump was. I didn't know he even existed. But when I found out, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. Because you think, you think that maybe this guy's not going to be so cool to be around. And maybe he's going to be, you know, stuck up and this, that, and the other. And what I can tell you is that Donald and Ivana Trump raised incredible children. I'm lucky enough to be married to one of them. And whatever it is that comes my way, I know my husband will be supportive of. So I'm waiting to see what the future holds. So the answer is I don't know.
Well, since you brought up your husband, I have to ask, how were you okay dating for, was it 5 or 6 years before you proposed? What was that like?
Yeah, what was that, the magic jump? Was that the magic crossover?
You know what, in retrospect, I shouldn't have been okay with it. It's funny because I planned to move to New York for like a year. I went to culinary school when I moved to New York. And it was kind of my rationale for moving in general, which my parents were probably horrified by. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But I met Eric like 6 months after moving to New York. And I never anticipated staying longer than a year. And then he convinced me to stay another year and another year. And then I turned around and I was like, wait a minute. This has been 5 years. And right when I was about to get a little cranky with him, he decided to propose to me. So he barely squeaked it out. But I do remember I said to him one time, I said, just don't do me wrong. That's all I said. I said it one time, and he'll tell you, he's like, you only said it to me that one time. I wasn't gonna pressure him. I wasn't gonna get crazy, but I needed him to know, like, hey, dude, let's do the right thing here. And I could tell, like, he's such a good person, and
you said the Texas would beat the Chiefs. And you heard yourself.
Obviously, was raised very well, and oddly had the same
Tell
sort of.
We pride
ourselves in the South, having a great set of morals and a foundation. I felt like Eric Trump could have been a Southerner because he seemed that way too.
That ain't got nothing to do with Pat.
So I told him that one time, and he did right by me. And gosh, we just had our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Did you have these moments where 2 or 3 years in, you were like, okay, I'm getting my nails done. It's about to happen, and then suddenly it didn't?
Yeah, I think everybody
must
does,
have, right?
Yeah. Well, what I'll tell the girls out there listening to this,
because girls are listening, and there are many women in this situation where they don't know if the guy's going to ever propose, and they keep waiting around, and then it doesn't happen. But then they look at you, and it's the perfect fairy tale story.
Oh gosh, well that's so nice. Well, you have to know your worth, and you have to make that apparent to your significant other. And I think that if you know the person you are with is a good person and has a good heart and a good soul, you just have to one time's enough. Just don't do me wrong.
You fuck with the Pistons?
You need to let me know as well. And I just always felt like
they just took
the right thing's gonna happen. Maybe I've put like too much stock in God and the universe and all this stuff, but I worked out my whole life. Yeah. So I don't know. It seemed to work out for me.
Final question, maybe the most important one. What do you think your kids have learned from watching Mama work so hard, have so much tenacity, but you wake up like in the middle of the night to work out?
Given
the
them niggas definitely taking
I have woken up at very odd hours to get a little gym time in. But that's my time. Even if it's like 30 minutes, that's what people know about me is I don't need a lot of downtime. I don't need a lot of free time. In fact, I don't really like it. I'm not going to be one to be like sitting around on a lawn chair in front of a pool type of thing. But I do need my me time, and whether that's going for a run, going and doing a little something, a bike ride, I'll fit it in. And yeah, my husband's like, what time are you waking up tomorrow? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. I just need a little something. Gosh, but my kids, I think every parent hopes that you're a great example for your kids, and it's the reason that I decided ultimately to take this crazy job as co-chair of the RNC during this insane election. But I hope that they know that whatever it is they want to achieve, they can do it. You're going to have to work for it. You can't, think that everything's going to come easily. There are going to be, very tough days, and there will be some very exciting days and very positive days. But, I hope that my son looks at me and one day chooses a spouse that maybe has the same sort of work ethic and drive as I do. And I hope my daughter herself has the same sort of work ethic and drive. And, there very clearly are differences between boys and girls and men and women. But what I think is very cool about my kids is that I hear them talk about things and they have no idea that one thing is traditionally a male-dominated field or a female-dominated field. And that feels right to me. They'll figure it out one day and they'll figure out the right fit for themselves. But my daughter the other day was like, well, Mom, when you were on the football team at NC State, what were you out there on this? And I was like, no. I was a cheerleader, but I did love the football team. It's just funny because I think that feels really natural and really right. And I hope that they're learning that, again, anything they want to do is achievable. They have a great grandfather who's shown them that. And I think often about when they realize one day who Grandpa really is, because they really just know him as Grandpa. Yeah. They love coming to see him because he gives them all kinds of goodies, candy, all the stuff the grandparents are supposed to do, takes them on the golf cart, lets them drive.
No, I ain't lost on the off ball. You should have definitely seen him, bro. I can't lie, he was right there.
What he's been through for them. And I really believe a lot of this has been for his grandchildren and the next generation.
No, he was on the left the whole time. Oh God, he was right here. He was right next to you.
And I hope they're really proud of me too.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there will be. And bless you, Laura. Keep going.
Thank you.
Love you to the moon. Thanks for everything that you've done for us. You give me hope. You give all of us hope.
Oh,
so
thank
really
you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. We're right back at you.
Yeah, still be that motherfucker last week. Overboard. I'm coming back through.
Wow, this is beautiful. So sleek, so cool. I feel like the car speaks to me. When I walk up to it, she says hello. Driving in a car that feels comfortable, luxurious, and I can feel confident stepping out of into the world.
Go ahead, Chesto. We got Chesto.
We have an electric vehicle.
We should have set him up, bro. No cap.
I'm
catching contact, so I'm crazy.
And not as fancy with the seat and the stitching and the leather. Everything is just very high quality and luxury. It has a lot of amazing features, but they're not thrown in your face. It's very understated. I can't wait to get out and drive the car. It kind of feels like you're gliding a little bit, which is really nice. Immediately, authenticity pops into my mind. I think that living your truth and doing it for yourself is what it means to be living your legacy. I wanted to really figure out a way to reach more people, and that's where the idea to create this online digital wellness company called B'nai by Nina came about. Our goal is to help destigmatize mental health. Interacting with the car felt really light and easygoing and really cool and sleek and chic, which I feel fits perfectly with my aesthetic and my vibe. Whoa! I need to throw everything except the kitchen sink in the trunk. So this is really cool because I feel like there's plenty of space to do that here. The fact that I feel comfortable sitting in the backseat is a big deal. I feel very sleek and cool driving this car, but I also feel like I could be in the carpool drop-off line right now. I don't know why lights and shiny things make me so excited, but this is exactly that. The car embodies so many different things, whether it's soccer games or whether I'm going to a business meeting. I can feel very confident in this vehicle.
Thompson for three. Westbrook in attack mode. Banks it in. Golden State Warriors trying to accomplish the greatest season in NBA regular season history. They're ahead of the pace of the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. And earlier today we asked Kevin Durant, is he watching the Warriors on the nights that he's not playing?
Hey, how can you not? It's everywhere. From, my grandmother knows about Golden State and San Antonio and what they've done. So it's everywhere, so you can't run away from it. I turn on SportsCenter and and then, go to HBO, they may be talking about Spurs and the Warriors. So it's just a matter of, great basketball is being played by those two teams.
There's such respect, obviously, throughout the league. But right now, in the basketball world, they are the greatest show on earth. Durant guarding Curry on the switch. Barnes steps back on Ibaka.
That right there is the type of defense with the discipline and the effort and the attention to detail that you need to be a great defensive team.
Durant on the pull-up. Won't go. Nearly tipped in by Bogut, and Green will come the other way.
And you make a point. It's that type of defense, the concern playing against the Warriors, you have to sustain it. Any lapse, they make you pay the price, and they put together a 9-0 run.
Well, Jeff, you feel that the Thunder, their personnel that they have, are more than capable of being a terrific defensive team.
Dominant. You look at the length that they have on the floor right now. The ability to guard multiple positions. Up and down the roster, to me, they are equipped to be a great defensive team.
Westbrook with a nice pass for his first assist, and it's 18-5. The first game of this trip after the All-Star break was a 32-point loss in Portland.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nice feed from Green to Thompson. And they've won 4 since. This is the final game of a 6-game trip after the break. They also played 1 road game before the break, so it's been 7 straight road games for the Warriors. Durant to the basket.
But, Mike, they're using Curry, his man, to set the pin down. Curry picked up a foul, doesn't stunt right there, so Durant's able to turn the corner.
Sweet jumper from Klay Thompson for his second field goal. Russell Westbrook having a magnificent season. If Curry wasn't so much the favorite for the MVP, Westbrook would be one of the clear candidates for that award. Durant misses. Ball knocked away, taken by Green. Thompson drives and fouled by Ibaka. So the first free throw attempts for Golden State. Coming up, our national TV games this week. Tomorrow on NBA TV, Dallas hosting Minnesota. ESPN Wednesday, Detroit at San Antonio. The Thunder in LA against the Clippers. And then the Thunder have to play Golden State again. That on TNT Thursday in Oakland after San Antonio and New Orleans. So a very difficult stretch coming up for the Thunder as Dion Waiters and Kyle Singler come in for Robertson and Durant.
And as Billy Donovan brings in Singler and Waiters, if I'm him, I have a very short leash because the starters did their job. They paid attention to detail defensively. We cannot afford to have breakdowns. So this is a game that I'd have a short leash with everybody on my bench if I'm Billy Donovan, trying to beat the best team in basketball.
Well, that's the question for OKC. Can they get consistent defensively, and can they get consistent production from their bench? Westbrook on the pull-up.
And if Curry is going to guard Waiters as Green lines up at 3, then Waiters has to be involved in the action.
Adams gets it again and fouled. Westbrook's done a great job finding Adams, and he's been very active early. He'll head back to the free throw line.
Y'all fucking around right now. Tell you, bro. Put them shits up, bro.
When your dog hears the call of the wild, make sure they have the right fuel to answer. Blue Wilderness Chicken, with 30% more protein than Purina Pro Plan chicken, is formulated to give your dog the energy they need to explore, to discover, and to take on the wild with you. Blue Wilderness, stay wild.
We talk about Russell Westbrook, but you take for granted how great of a player he is. He came into this league not having played the point guard position. And you look at his numbers, not only scoring, but facilitating, making plays. He is a phenomenal basketball player and having a tremendous season.
Now second in the NBA in assists. He's first in steals, seventh in scoring, second in triple doubles with 8. Another, as we said, if it wasn't for Curry, he'd be one of the leading candidates for MVP. And Mark, you've watched him. His balance now between scoring and finding his teammates, the improvement there has been extraordinary.
It's learning the point guard position. He came into this league as a, unbelievable athlete and a playmaker. He's understood how to play the point guard position.
Thompson misses. Adams altered that shot, although Thompson thought he was hit. Westbrook, attack mode, tried to draw the foul, didn't get the whistle.
Great closeout by Steven Adams in transition.
Curry the drive, down from behind. As he was passing it out to the corner, got hit by Westbrook. That's going to be Westbrook's first. And he'll say he'll be active shooting.
And Coach, you pointed it. These are the things, if you're OKC, we ran them off the three-point line. Those are the plays we were giving up last time we played them. And if you're Russell Westbrook, you got to get back in the picture. You got to get back into the picture. So if he sprinted from the jump, that seam or gap would not have been there for Steph Curry.
And a missed free throw, a rare missed free throw from Curry. What a week he's had. 36 in Atlanta, 42 including a couple of clutch threes to help them win the game in Miami. And then his third 50-point game of the season in Orlando. Throw in on Tuesday, he got to play 36 holes at Augusta National. Which you said perhaps was the highlight of the week. It has been quite a week for the reigning MVP.
So you look at those numbers. Those are video game numbers against teams that are game planning how to double team them, beat them up, triple team them. With all due respect, that's not Adrian Smith's numbers.
Serge Ibaka hits the jumper.
But again, Dion Waiters, Curry's on him. creates a nice play coming off baseline screens and opens up the mid-range jumper for Ibaka.
And this is an adjustment for OKC from the first game, Jeff, correct?
Well, I think it's an outstanding adjustment as Iguodala with the layup. And they got to keep going at it.
And as Cantor has also come on for OKC. Waiters jumper. 59% shooting here to start for OKC. Curry drives. Westbrook knocks it away. His second steal. Behind the back to Cantor for the finish. Ibaka deflects it.
You see Concede?
Wow, listen to this place. Westbrook for three. Iguodala down the other end. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in what has been a high-paced, as expected, first quarter. Curry from way downtown, way off. Ibaka the catch and finish. Thompson shut out. Iguodala able to finish. And now it's time for Billy Donovan to talk his team. They need a break. They're exhausted, running up and down the floor. A terrific start for the Thunder, up by a dozen here in the first.
This is ludicrous.
All right, who called for ludicrous? Oh, you don't need me. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Just file a claim on the app or call us.
Lovely home, by the way.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rated M to AL.
Together, we will save our people from this tortured existence. For we are those who stand in the way of tyranny. Who will take back control of freedom and deliver peace to our homes.
PlayStation.
Time now for the In the Zone, brought to you by AutoZone. Mark?
Russell Westbrook, you see Steph Curry going by him, but the hustle, getting back into the picture with the active hands, leading to transition points, running 4-on-2. Great job by Westbrook in transition, forcing Iguodala and the Warriors in transition to commit. Once they do, pitch a perfect way of running a fast break drill, and Cantor with the big time finish.
Westbrook already with 5 assists. He's also had a couple of steals of those forced turnovers. Westbrook this year, he's got 8 games where he's had 15 assists or more. His distributing some nights have been magnificent. Some new faces on the court for both teams. Anderson Varejao, the former Cav out there for Golden State. And as Barbosa comes up with a steal. 3-on-1, Curry, Iguodala, the finish. And Randy Foye is out there for the Thunder. Both acquisitions at the trading deadline. Varejao was traded to Portland. They waived him, and then Golden State signed him. Foye acquired from Denver.
And another subtle adjustment by Billy Donovan in Oklahoma is Durant goes out early in the first quarter, and then Durant comes back in for Westbrook. So one of them is always on the floor. I think that's imperative as you get into the playoffs.
Curry's got Cantor on.
My nigga Bez be playing that body up defense, man. You seen
it
him?
out. Barbosa wide open for 3. And Cantor the rebound.
Last 2 possessions, turnovers for OKC. You got to at least get a quality shot because Golden State lives off of your mistakes.
They got to go at Curry.
Meanwhile, Varejao playing in his 3rd game with Festus Ezeli out after knee surgery. He's going to get a chance. And Varejao does not like the call. That's his first.
Well, that is crazy. You're supposed to keep swinging that bitch. Come on. Let me show you.
Take it out with 14.
Who else want to throw that lob? Set up something serious.
A couple of years ago, that was called every time. And I think rightfully so, the officials letting a player react initially. Don't you think so?
I don't know. I was just wondering.
Durant nails the jumper. 10 first quarter points for Kevin Durant. Well, we talked about the question mark for OKC. The bench, for their bench that is, the bench for Golden State has been terrific last year and this year. Iguodala, how about him off the bench? 4 for 4. He's got 8 points in 5 minutes.
And you can play great defense. You're not going to solve everything about this Warrior team. They're the best in the business for a reason, not just Steph Curry, but quality guys throughout the line.
Curry on Durant. Waiters goes right at Barbosa. Ball too low. Durant couldn't handle it. And that's the third turnover for OKC.
Mistake by Waiters. Had Singler all by himself in the corner. Don't try to do too much. Trust your offense.
Randy Foye, the new Thunder, guarding Curry. Green drives on Singler. Beautiful pass, but Varejao can't finish. Shot clock turned off. And the Thunder will hold it now for the final shot of the period.
You see the Warriors keeping a guy on the strong side, Iguodala. Somebody's open. You got to be ready to catch and make a play.
Foy way downtown. Curry has it. Down the length of the floor. That almost went in, and it would have counted. But the first quarter belongs to the Thunder. Kevin Durant out of the gate strong. He's got 10 points. Russell Westbrook 5 assists. And OKC takes the first period. Tonight's coach's interview brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors. Steve Kerr moments ago with Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Mike. Steve, they came at you fast in that first quarter. I heard you tell your guys that they weren't playing like themselves. What was breaking down?
A couple quick shots, some bad decisions, and we weren't getting back in transition. You can't make mistakes against these guys. They'll run it right down your throat.
I also heard you tell them that they've got to bring the fight. What did you like about the effort really themselves?
I didn't like the effort. You said it. We didn't play with the fire that you have to play with against this team in this building.
All right, thank you for your time. Mike?
All right, Lisa. When they played 3 weeks ago tonight in Oakland, Thunder came out, led 9-0. Before people warm in their seats as they're going to call a loose ball foul against OKC, and we're going to listen to both coaches in recent huddles.
Take it off, what the hell?
Seems like this happens every time we play these guys. We've taken that blow, now we got to come back, and we got to screen harder, and cut harder, and pass better. I mean,
guys, we've made some mistakes on defense. We haven't been perfect, but our effort's been perfect. Our efforts, we haven't given up on plays, okay?
Exactly what you guys are talking about.
Like, do you think we over here just freestyling?
No, just put 5.
No, with the turnaround shot. Now, they can play defense like they have and win 55 to 60 games in advance of the playoffs, but to win a championship, this is the kind of defensive effort you're talking about, Jeff.
It is, and I don't think they should sell themselves short. You know, the talk all year has been about 3 teams, and rightfully so. Warriors, Spurs, Cavaliers, as the 3 teams that people can see winning a championship. I think Oklahoma City should be thinking of themselves in that realm. And what they have to do that is consistently guard.
14.
With great habits, with great discipline, and determination.
Another foul as Durant got hit. That previous foul was on Varejao. Now Durant will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. In the previous game between the two, Durant had 40 in that game, and he got to the free throw line 13 times.
And I agree with what you're saying 100%. I'd also add the Los Angeles Clippers, if Blake Griffin comes back healthy and whole, with their ability to play big and small, and certainly have playoff experience.
I agree. What they've been able to accomplish without Griffin, I think is a testament to Chris Paul's greatness, Jordan and Redick being exceptional, and Doc Rivers doing a tremendous job coaxing everything they have out of a limited roster.
10-point lead right now for the Thunder. Sean Livingston in the game with Barnes, Varejao, Barbosa, and Iguodala. Barnes got bumped as he tried to get the pass out. Whereas outside of those top 4 teams, it dips. But all 4 of them have had sensational years. I mean, look at they're 41-17. That is a stellar record. But everything pales in comparison to what Golden State and San Antonio has done.
And you know who's done well, too, quietly in the West? And they're not a championship caliber team, but Memphis.
Yep.
Memphis is 10 games over 500. Gasol is out, multiple changes. Dave Yeager has done a very good job there.
And, of course, Portland, which has been such a hot team recently. Durant guarded by Iguodala. Durant drives and finishes. Iguodala looked like he had him for a moment, and then a quick move. He's got 14.
And they're putting him in position where he can attack before help comes. When he catches it, he's in position to score the basketball. He is aggressive early tonight.
Thunder shooting 58% against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Barbosa the runner. Barbosa thrilled to have his pal from Brazil on his team now. Anderson Varejao, 2 good friends. Waiters from the corner. Waiters has been struggling with his shot since the All-Star break. They like to call him the X Factor, but he's been very inconsistent. Barnes throws up a brick. Durant. Cantor, sidestep. Nice footwork from Enes Kanter.
Beautiful move by the big fella.
Kanter off the bench, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Another excellent offensive player for OKC.
Oklahoma City guarding Livingston with Durant to take away his postgame.
Iguodala drives. Wild shot, puts it up, gets the bounce. Iguodala now 5 of 6 from the field. He's got 10 points off the bench already as Westbrook set the check in. Durant.
I'm coming through it.
Robertson back to Durant, shuffles it out. Waiters wide open 3. Iguodala finds Varejao. Steve Kerr said he has fit in so well already because his game is similar to Bogut's as Barbosa the runners. And Durant rips down the rebound. Lost the handle. Livingston all the way to the basket. The Golden State bench has outscored the starters here so far. 16 of their 30 points from the bench. And a timeout call by Billy Donovan.
This Warrior team's a lot of credit. They're going to continue to fight. Curry, Thompson on the bench. The second unit doing a great job forcing the turnover. And Livingston with the finish in transition.
It's a terrific victory for the Celtics. They had a big second half last year as well. Now 3rd in the East. But how about Toronto? Kyle Lowry maybe played the best game of his career in the victory for the Raptors over the Cavs the other night.
And they do that in spite of DeMar DeRozan having a bad game. That's a scary team. That wing play can play with anybody.
And I'll tell you what, Miami lost today, but Eric Spoelstra is weaving his magic once again. Bosh not there, Wade in and out, and he is getting the maximum out of their team. And Hassan Whiteside, I don't know why people are always trying to knock this guy. That guy is a dominant force when he's on the floor.
Livingston posting up Westbrook. Tough turnaround shot. Westbrook grabs it and tries to run. Throws it ahead to Robertson. And somehow tipped it to Kanter. Mo Spates is in for Golden State. Spates played very well in the first meeting between the two. Kanter, the spin move, throws it to a fan.
Turnovers in this quarter are really hurting Oklahoma City.
That's 3 in less than 5 minutes in the second as Steve Adams returns.
And if you're OKC, you also have to understand that you cannot defend Mo Spates the same way you defend Varejao or Bogut. He is a knockdown shooter.
Spates had 15 in 17 minutes in the first meeting between the two. That shot rolls off the rim. Durant grabs his fifth rebound. Westbrook looking to pass first. Offensive foul as he barrels into space, and that's two personals on Russell Westbrook. Waiters back in.
Very good job by Mo Spates.
And that's a block. He's in the restricted area.
Yep. Bad call. Oh, another turnover for OKC. Thompson trying to get himself going. Comes up well short. Westbrook, pull-up jumper.
That's what you got to do. Keep it simple. Don't try to do too much. Put them in pick and rolls and get high percentage shots.
Westbrook coming off a 44-point game in their most recent game. That loss to the Pelicans, where defensively was one of their worst performances. Yet here tonight, it's been one of their better ones. Barnes, two-pointer misses. Robertson the rebound.
I like the defense of Ibaka early in this game.
Robertson gets inside, can't connect. Rebound, foot, take it away. Westbrook up with a left hand, powers it in.
And Robertson was absolutely mugged on the initial shot.
That's what Billy Donovan says. Crowd doesn't care right now. They're just applauding a 10-point lead.
Well, the drive, the dish, and good effort by Westbrook. Get back in the play with the tremendous left hand, and then good screen by Steven Adams, and a nice mid-range pull-up by Westbrook.
Here are the second quarter, 40-30. First meeting between the two, Golden State scored 73 as Curry nails the three-pointer. That's his second. They scored 73 in the first half. A much different defensive performance for OKC here in the opening couple of quarters. Adams and Spates isolated. Adams lost it. Curry drives, flips it over to Spates. Spates banks it in. Cut it to 5 now. They trail by as many as 14. Durant ready to check back in for OKC. Green on Westbrook. Little stutter dribble. Way off the mark. Ibaka right there to clean it up. Curry from the corner. Another.
And that's the mistake right there. So Ibaka switches on him. He throws it to Spates, and then he goes under the little hand back, which gives Curry the space to give the three.
Can't finish at the other end.
I'm about to say, really bang.
Curry, long distance, puts it in. Stephen Curry with another three-pointer, his fourth. And it's a one-point game.
When you switch, you got to know who you're guarding. So Curry gives it up. Ibaka goes under. Too much airspace. Corner three. And this is good defense by Steven Adams. There's nothing you can do. Oscar, take note.
Welcome back to NBA Saturday Prime Time, presented by La Quinta. A 14-point lead has been sliced to 1 as Stephen Curry has 9 of the last 11 points for the Golden State Warriors and is now 4 of 5 from downtown. He had 10 in the last game Thursday night in Orlando. Westbrook bumped a couple of times, finds Adams. Adams gets it back out to Durant. Durant's shot is good. Livingston was right on him. And Durant nails the three. He's got 17. You hear some cheers at both ends again. There are a lot of Golden State fans here.
They had chance.
Curry trying to find an opening.
Yeah.
Steps back. That's a
That
two-pointer.
was just you, nigga.
Ibaka grabs the board. Here comes Westbrook. Attacks the rim. Knocked out of his hands. Westbrook thought he was hit.
That's it. On that bit.
That's the 6th Thunder turnover here in the second quarter. As you see there, Golden State without a turnover in the period. 3 for the game. Thompson drives. Thunder thought it was blocked clean. Thompson will go to the free throw line. Kevin Durant picks up his first.
You see initially Durant goes straight up. Question is, does he come down
They don't fuck with him or something.
And there's contact. Yep. Correct call was made.
We were talking to Durant before the game, and some of their recent defensive performances, like the other night against New Orleans, was just not good enough, according to Billy Donovan and the Thunder. And Durant says, I have to be better. Put it on me. I'm the one that has to lead them, and I know I have to be better defensively for us as a team.
We're supposed to go back. That's
the effort certainly here in the first half has been there for the Thunder.
There comes a point as a team, players, coaches, everything, where we've done enough talking. You know you got to be better. I know you got to be better. Now show me what your actions. And tonight in this first half, overall, they've done that.
Westbrook. Thompson guarding Westbrook.
Hit. Oh my fucking goodness.
That mid-range jumper there has become lethal.
Did you put that in?
10 points, 5 assists for Westbrook.
You did it? Did it hit?
Green back to Curry. Fakes. Kicks it out to Thompson for a good look. Three-pointer off the mark. Ibaka his 6th rebound.
A multiple effort. You make a mistake. Durant is the guy, the third guy that comes and contests the shot.
Westbrook inside for the post-up. Curry shot waved off. An offensive foul. Bogut with a moving screen.
Coaches talked about it time and time again. You got to look to attack Steph Curry
when
you have the basketball. No help.
Crazy.
Westbrook uses that size and strength, the ability to get to his spot. Big time finish.
What are you talking about?
More NBA action coming up Wednesday on ESPN. First at 8, the Pistons and the Spurs from San Antonio. Then at 10:30, the Thunder and the Clippers from LA. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7. Meanwhile, Steph Curry with 4 3-pointers. He doesn't just take threes, he takes deep threes just inside, about a foot inside the 28-foot line. He shoots from there like it's a free throw. In fact, his percentage from there is almost better than a lot of guys from the free throw line. It's incredible how consistent he is from that kind of deep range.
He's an unbelievable shooter. And what you say to Steven Adams right in that situation is good defense. Great players are going to make plays just like Kevin Durant just did. But Steven Adams played pitch-perfect defense, and you cannot allow greatness to frustrate you.
Speaking of greatness, Durant with 19 points here in the first half. He's 7 of 11 from the field. Curry finds Bogut cutting to the basket. 3rd assist for Curry. Seven-point game, just under 2 to play. Durant's got Draymond Green. This is one of the best matchups you can watch. And Durant, in rhythm, nails it. 21 first half points.
You know, we can really forget how great this guy is. Led the league in scoring how many times, Mike?
Curry misses 4. Green, the rebound, kicks it out to Thompson. Fights for the rebound inside. Here comes Westbrook. Roberson. And Green grabs the rebound.
Oh my gosh, bro, I cannot believe it.
Draymond Green. Pass stolen by Robertson. Westbrook sidestep. Oh, lays it in. A sweet move from Russell Westbrook. Curry. And nobody in front of him. Curry with the left hand.
And if I'm Steven Adams, I'm upset. I'm doing my job defending Steph Curry on the perimeter. Help has got to come, and Serge Ibaka is in prime position to come over.
Westbrook now posting up Thompson. Inside to Adams. Boy, Westbrook's done a great job of finding Adams tonight.
I'll tell you what, if I made that last move that Russell Westbrook made, I'd be out for a month and a half.
Curry, blocked by Durant. Foul on Draymond Green. Reminder, we got the H&R Block halftime report coming up with Sage, Doug, and Jalen. They'll talk about the keys for tonight. And Joe Johnson, contract buyout with Brooklyn, signs with Miami. Shot clock turned off. Warriors obviously had a foul to give. That was Green's first personal. Durant on the pull-up. Ibaka's tip won't go. And the first half comes to an end. A thrilling couple of quarters as Green and Durant have some words as they head to the locker room. Steph Curry had 15, but it was Kevin Durant's 21. And Russell Westbrook 14 points and 7 assists. As the Thunder, with an 11-point lead, led really by their defense in many ways. Thunder 57, Warriors 46. Stay tuned for the H&R Block halftime report coming up after these messages.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Brought to you by the dramatically transformed 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander and Verizon. Join a better network because better matters.
Welcome back to NBA Saturday Primetime, presented by La Quinta. Russell Westbrook with a superb first half, 14 points and 7 assists. In the other half of the dynamic duo, Kevin Durant, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Oklahoma City, excellent first half. As we look at the first half stats, brought to you by Expedia. Thunder, not only do they shoot 58%, but an excellent defensive first half, holding the Warriors to 46 points and 44% shooting, plus a huge rebounding edge, and hence an 11-point lead for OKC. Hi again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Green on hand. We'll check in with Lisa Salters in a moment. This is the kind of game you almost expected the Thunder to play, Mark. They had lost 2 straight home games. They already lost to Golden State. They came out angry and played with intensity at both ends.
So follow the game plan on both sides of the basketball, offensively and defensively. Got guys involved, was aggressive, and they did it on both ends. Talk about the performance. Put Steph Curry in the action. Talked about that going into the game. They do that. He's defending the screener. It allows airspace for Durant, turns the corner and finish. How about putting Bogut in pick and rolls? Step back, miscommunication, all by himself, aggressive. And then Russell Westbrook, aggressive, attacking the offensive board. Gets the basketball, keeps his foot on the gas pedal and finish. As good as it gets in pick and roll situations with a stop and pop mid-range jump shot. Both guys, stellar first half on both sides of the floor.
And that's tonight's breakthrough performance brought to you by Metro PCS. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, a little slow scoring early, but boy, did he get red hot in that second quarter.
Yeah, he had 15 on 4 threes, and it was the ability to take what he practices and put it into the game. Here, the 2-ball dribbling drills that a lot of people do, but not very many have this type of handle to get that separation. And then the fade on the jumper in the corner, he gives it up to Spates, gets it back, same shot, same result. And then the long-range bombing that he practices here. Excellent defense by Steven Adams, but the offense just too good by Steph Curry.
Well, Curry with 15 points, and again 4 of 5 from three-point range. Curry in the first meeting between the two struggled shooting from 3. He was just 1 of 9, but he caught fire in that second period. But he's the only one with a three-pointer as he continues his assault on his own record. He is going to absolutely obliterate his own record for most threes in a season, which he set last year, which he broke from the year before. Thompson against Durant, uses a Bogut screen and nails the jumper.
And Kevin Durant can't slide under that screen. They're either got to switch it or Durant's got to fight over the top.
OKC ran out to a 14-point lead. Shot block, offensive foul as Adams barrels into Draymond Green, who draws the charge. Bogut comes up kind of holding his right hand. Still flexing that right hand a little bit, but appears to be okay. Thompson gets past Robertson. Nice jumper again from Klay Thompson. He's got 11.
And struggled in the first half, but back-to-back possessions, they got him the basketball. This is a guy you can't play Curry or Thompson as if they're having a bad night. They can heat up at any point.
Bogut still grabbing that hand down the other end as Durant pulls up, shot blocked by Green. A couple of good defensive plays from Green to start the third. Green throws a pass, thought Curry was going to cut back door, he didn't. And Green commits the turnover. Westbrook against Curry. Green was daring Robertson to shoot. Durant throws it away, stolen by Curry. Fourth in the league in steals. Finds Barnes. Barnes up and in. And Curry a little shaken up. Slow to get up.
He's actually telling them to foul right now.
He's hurt right now as Westbrook is fouled. Curry fell hard. Did not try to get up. And again, right away, as Mark said, was signaling for his team to foul to stop the clock. A little bit of a limp. Oh, you saw that left ankle turn. And he's walking it off a little bit.
Looked like Westbrook landed on a little bit. Actually, he did.
I hit the wrong leg. I've seen it already.
And they tried to take a foul earlier in the possession where they grabbed Steven Adams, Draymond Green, as Curry's going off the floor and into the back.
Now, he'd had trouble with both ankles. It was the right ankle, though, that he had the surgery on. Still walking gingerly, but walking a little better. It looked how far it turned over there. So Curry will be checked out and back in the locker room. Westbrook 1 for 2. Well, as soon as we hear anything, obviously we'll pass it along. Salters in pursuit. Draymond Green steps back.
He was supposed to lob it.
Short on the three. Green 0 for 4 from the field. He does have 7 rebounds and 6 assists. And now guarding Durant. Durant and Green had some words before they went into the locker room at halftime.
I'm coming through, come on. Oh, you're supposed to keep that, Joe.
And they are just totally ignoring Robertson.
Robertson, oh, they call a foul, a reach-in foul. I think it's going to be Klay Thompson. Let's take a look again at the play with Curry. Watch the left ankle.
I know that bucks up.
Yeah, it turns, and then, as you said, Mark, he stepped right on it.
And the tough part is Westbrook is coming down with force. Certainly hope that he's okay.
Westbrook, pass inside, deflected by Thompson. You know, Thompson's such an unbelievable shooter. Forget what a good defensive player is, Mark. You've been saying that for years.
Why didn't you take it better?
Green couldn't handle the pass.
You make up a good point, though, but these are the opportunities where Klay Thompson recognizes that he's the go-to guy all of a sudden, and he thrives in these situations. If you're OKC, you got to give Klay Thompson your undivided attention.
I've been saying put the bet on. You over there doing extra. What do you mean?
Durant leans in. And Adams pushed off to get the rebound.
No, I've been saying
Adams picks up his second. We're going to check in with Lisa.
Hey, Michael, while Steph Curry's back in the locker room now being checked out, I can tell you about a very emotional locker room at halftime. One of the players went on a profanity-laced tirade. I did not hear what precipitated it, but he was yelling so loudly that I could hear everything that he was saying. I think you heard a little bit of it as well, Mike. I think that it was Draymond Green. The indications that I've gotten from other players is that it was Draymond Green. He was yelling and screaming, "I am not a robot. I know I can play. You have me messed up right now. If you don't want me to shoot, I won't shoot the rest of the game." At one point, people were trying to get him to sit down from what I could hear, and he was daring people, threatening people, "Come sit me down." It then got very quiet. Guys came out of the locker room. I'll have more when we come back from commercials. Back to Oklahoma City, where the Warriors trailed the Thunder 58-52. It was a very emotional Golden State locker room at halftime. One player went on a profanity-laced tirade. It was so loud that everyone out in the hallway could hear it. The player was saying, "I'm not a robot. You have me messed up right now." I believe the player was Draymond Green, but this was the Warriors team right before the start of the second half. Draymond Green huddling his team up. I will try to find out more about what happened, but Mike, you heard it as well as I did. I have never heard anything like that coming from any kind of professional locker room. I know that players disagree, but that was very loud, and there was a lot of swearing going on.
All right, Lisa. Well, Mark and Jeff, you guys have been in locker rooms your whole life. Is this something that happens on a semi-regular basis, never happens once in a while? And how concerned are you when something like that does happen?
Well, for me, I mean, you might have disagreements. I don't know like that, though. Again, I wasn't privy to what happened. So I would say very unusual.
And I would say, knowing the personalities in that locker room, you could sense something had gone on as KD knocked down a long ball. You see security during their layup line. You see guys talking to one another, discussing what took place. I'll tell you this. This is probably the biggest explosion for this team this year, but this is not the first time that they've had discussions like this in the locker room.
You expect it sometimes, as a foul is called, as Durant got hit in the face. You expect it at times from teams, that are really struggling. You don't, kind of surprising when it's a team that's 52-5, despite the pressure of, wanting and having to win a championship, et cetera, et cetera.
But I'll say this, Mike, as a coach or as a teammate, I'm not worried about number 23. I'm not worried about Draymond Green and his competitive spirit, his fight, his winning spirit, his determination. But there's certain things you got to do it in decency and in order. There's certain things that's acceptable and unacceptable. He's well aware of it. He's been a leader from day one. But I'm not concerned about him competing night in and night out on the floor.
Well, he throws up an air ball there. Green really is the emotional leader of the team. By the way, that foul on Durant was his third personal. Now, in all of sports, there's history of championship teams who did not get along and would fight and have their problems.
Well, it's also about who it was directed at.
Right.
Right? So, again,
as Robertson hits the three-pointer, his second of the game.
And good for him. He's working hard defensively to try to get some three-pointers where he's going to be left open to go.
Bogut not expecting the pass, knocked away, stolen by Westbrook. And Westbrook foul by Draymond Green. Second foul on Green. Third team foul. 9-point Thunder lead against Steph Curry. Turning his ankle. Still in the back in the locker room. Adams backs it in. Boy, Adams has had a really nice game. 9 points, 5 rebounds, some strong defense. And the lead back up to 11.
Oh, she think I'm doing, she wanna ask it.
15 for Thompson. Once again, Westbrook finds Adams. If you're just tuning in and hearing about Curry's injury. He did walk off on his own, but he was limping. Watch the left foot. Turns and then...
Oh, up to the lob. That's crazy.
Mike, you know it was real pain because he never attempted to get up and was yelling at his teammates to commit a foul.
Well, it turned all the way over. I was surprised he was able to walk the way he did to go to the locker room. Those are his numbers in the 20 minutes he's played. Adams misses another free throw. He's 1 for 5 from the line.
And I like the substitution by Steve Kerr, putting Mo Spates in to get another scorer on the floor with Curry being out.
Thompson drills the jumper. Klay Thompson now with 17. And 10 of those in the first 5 minutes of the third. Remember, Thompson has the NBA record for most points at a quarter, 37. Did that last year. Shot knocked away by Livingston. Ball still loose. Durant holding on to it. Oh, Westbrook tips it to himself. Out to Ibaka for 3. That would have been some basket as Adams gives him a new 24. Ibaka may have traveled. Robertson back to Ibaka. He's going to try again. Air ball. Spates battling. Livingston comes up with it. Boy, Westbrook, his athleticism is just nuclear. Spates nails the jumper, and it's back to 6.
The coach talked about it. That's why you put Mo Spates in the basketball game. You need scoring in the absence of Steph Curry, and he provides that.
Durant finds Robertson, and his pass to Adams sails out of bounds. Iguodala's going to come back in. NBA National TV game calendar. Tomorrow on NBA TV, Dallas hosting Minnesota. ESPN Wednesday, a couple of games, including the Thunder and the Clippers in LA. And TNT Thursday, these two teams will meet again in the second game of Turner's doubleheader. Livingston sees an opening, left-handed. And Adams perhaps altering that shot. Westbrook to the basket. The finish. Count it and 1.
You got to love the fire, the will, the determination. Foot on the gas pedal. You got to get back collectively. Poor job by the Warriors not allowing him to see bodies. Takes advantage of the seam. Finishes at the cup with the contact. Explosive athletic ability and speed by Westbrook.
Iguodala his second foul. Westbrook now with 17 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. And the snarl. Meanwhile, Curry has not only come back out of the locker room, he's going to come into the game as we check in with Lisa.
Yeah, Mike, the Warriors are saying exactly what we thought it was. A tweaked left ankle. They said that Steph got retaped, and as you can see, he's getting ready to return to the game.
Thank you, Lisa. That was more than a tweak. That was a turn. With a shot block. Ibaka and Adams reject Green. Green as Westbrook shot too strong. Livingston calmly pulls up. Their bench was excellent in the first half. Curry doesn't seem like he has a care in the world right now. Westbrook draws the foul. And as Spates went for the pump fake. Good to see Steph Curry okay. Ready to check back in. I don't know why he's waiting.
Wait till the second shot.
Singler comes in and is in for OKC. Still a little limp there. Yeah, remember when he signed that long-term deal, some thought it was risky because of the ankle problems.
Well, the only reason they got him at that price was because of the ankle problems. There was no question at that point that he was a max player, but the concern was his health. So there was a compromise on both sides.
He missed 40 games, right? The year before he signed that deal.
Has not missed many since then. 8-point game, just over 5 to play here in the third. Spates left open. Nails the jumper. He is a good shooter.
With a lot of confidence, too. With a whole lot of confidence. But that's what he is, a pick and pop guy, a spot up shooter. He can score the basket.
Curry with the steal. Curry goes at Westbrook. Westbrook knocks it away. Still Golden State ball. Two of the most dynamic players in the game. These 2 point guards, so different in their style. Boy, so much fun to watch these two go at it.
I just think we're going to see them go at it for a long time to come.
Iguodala posting up Waiters. Back out. Thompson for three. Adams with his 8th rebound.
That should be on.
The hesitation. Westbrook inside. Ibaka. It's bounced off him, but Singler comes up with it. Waiters back to Westbrook. Travel. 15 turnovers for the Thunder. Delay game warning called. And now Steve Kerr wants a timeout. Warriors have never led. They've trailed by as many as 14. Right now, down 6 here in the third.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Brought to you by Bank of America. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Infinity. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Woo! So there's some fun now. Confident, aggressive, anything around the room. All right. That's good movement.
You talking about Twitch and my YouTube? Yeah, same thing. The Twitch underscore though.
They're going to come over on their run, and we can't get discouraged. Like
Tripball crew underscore. And then YouTube Tripball crew.
They can give up a lead, but they can come back, you know what I'm saying? But just all that's really going to matter is, just keep it close and then fourth quarter.
On TikTok?
A 30-year-old veteran.
I got a green screen. I got one.
Clark as Curry launches a three and gets the bounce. Count the basket, and then a foul. Is going to go against OKC. That one hit all sides of the rim for his 5th three-pointer of the game.
But another mistake defensively. If you're Cantor in this pick and roll, you got to come up. You got to come up and be there for Westbrook and buy him time. And if you're Westbrook, you got to fight over the screen or through the screen and get to his body. Proven to be too great of a shooter to give him air space.
A one-shot free throw attempt on the Singler foul. Cantor back in, sets a screen on Curry. Westbrook sidestep, rejected by Green. But Singler right there to keep it alive. Shot clock did not reset. Westbrook fires away. And Green grabs rebound number 8. Ahead to Spates. Mo Spates banks it in.
You got to give Steph Curry a lot of credit. Not just his shooting ability, but he's taking the challenge. Trying to get into the body of Westbrook. This is on a damaged ankle, obviously not 100%, but he is competing.
Back to a one-point game. Waiters steps back. And Waiters able to hit that one. His second field goal. That time Curry's pass. He expected Spates to cut to the basket.
He's a pick and pop guy by nature, but they're not rotating even one step over. We saw Bogut get a layup in the first half on a little side pick and roll. If you're Mo Spates right there, just catch and take a layup.
If you're OKC, you got to rotate a little bit. You don't have shooters on the other side of the floor.
Waiters steps back. Back-to-back jumpers from Dion Waiters. Again, we said it earlier, he can be an X factor for this team. He's been very erratic, especially shooting. Curry for three. Stephen Curry from downtown. His 6th of the game. He's 6 of 7 from long distance. Cantor taken away by Green. Ahead to Curry. Waiters in pursuit. And a foul call on Waiters. And Curry will go to the line. Curry in his 51-point game on Thursday night only took 1 free throw attempt, which is incredible. You see the limp still evident.
Back-to-back stellar defensive plays by Draymond Green also. Protecting that paint area, giving multiple effort on the defensive end.
Well, we don't know about the explosion in the locker room at halftime, but it's certainly whatever happened, it's ignited Green defensively.
After that lob,
you see Steph Curry, again, if you are involved in that screen and roll, you got to be up closer. That's good defense, but better offense. And I'll say this, Mike. Explosion or no explosion, this is a tied-together team. There's no question about that. Explosion or no explosion, whatever took place, this team is on a mission, and they know how to look past situations like that.
Foul's going to go against Golden State. Barbosa picking up the foul, first on Barbosa. And since he's come back, made a couple of beautiful passes, and then a couple more three-pointers. Now 23 points in 23 minutes. He is having one of the great seasons, regular seasons, in the history of the league. As Waiters misses that, NBAtickets.com is the official source of all NBA tickets, even for sold-out games. Start your search now at NBAtickets.com, where tickets are always authentic and always available. Thunder have missed half their free throws. They're 7 of 14.
Mike, between the free throws missed and the turnover differential, to me, very hard to overcome.
Barbosa. And Ibaka holds in the rebound. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining here in the third.
2-3.
Ibaka backing in, knocked away by Green, dives on it, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Draymond Green, I believe. Yep, well, Green picks up his third.
This is a tremendous defensive sequence by Green, digging into the post, attacking the ball, first to the floor. Oh, that's a bad call.
Yep.
Not only should it be no foul, but it should be the Warrior ball because it went off on Ibaka.
There was no possession there by Ibaka, so Green picks up another quick foul. Instead, Ibaka with a couple of free throws, 6 points, 11 rebounds for Serge Ibaka, and another missed free throw for OKC. They're normally a good free throw shooting team, 6th in the NBA. Their star players are great free throw shooters, led by Durant.
Bro, I need to put that shit up.
Well, they've missed more than they've made so far. Cantor picks up Curry for three. Too strong that time. Durant gets a running start. Durant for three. Rebound fought for, picked up by Iguodala. A beautiful pass. Iguodala finds Spates. Spates blocked from behind by Ibaka. Still Golden State ball. Second block by Serge Ibaka, one of the premier shot blockers in the league.
Very good job of moving the basketball, and Iguodala finding space, but not able to finish underneath.
Singler now on Curry. Crossover, step back, three-pointer, bang! First lead of the night for Golden State.
Not much you can do in that situation.
Are you kidding me?
7 of 9 from three-point range. Cantor can't handle a pass. 17th OKC turnover. Curry. Not that time. Barbosa tried to tip it, but Durant comes away. Durant for three. That's good. Kevin Durant gives the Thunder the lead back. 27 for Durant.
I'm waiting for you to say, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? These guys are just off the dribble. Shots that they are able to make.
They're like taking free throws from this long distance. Spates jumper. Ibaka, who's had a strong game on the board, 12 now.
You already finished. I'm down. Come on. I do.
Durant's got 5 3-pointers. He's 10 of 18 overall. Durant crossover, another 3. It's good! Kevin Durant from way downtown. Curry lost it. Final seconds, Ibaka stolen by Green. And the third quarter comes to an end. They're exploding here in Oklahoma City. 30 points for Kevin Durant. 6 of 8 from downtown to put his team back up by 5. 6 of 8 from 3-point range. This presentation of the NBA Saturday Primetime continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Back to Oklahoma City. I'm with Thunder head coach Billy Donovan. Billy, you had an 11-point lead going into locker room. You lost the lead in that third quarter. Now you're up by 5. How would you describe that third quarter?
Well, I think when you're playing against this team, there's going to be a lot of swings, obviously from the 3-point line and the way they play in transition. We just got to stick with it. We went through a run in the first half, and we battled back.
Up 11
at the half, and then they came back again. So it's going to be that kind of game. We just got to battle through that.
How do you see this playing out? What are you going to need to do to close this thing out?
Well, I think we just got to be disciplined defensively, and then offensively take care of the basketball, make sure we get good shots.
All right, thanks for your time. Mike.
All right, Lisa, 5-point lead right now for OKC. Barbosa with a good open look. Hit single with a rebound. A game that's featuring the 2 highest scoring teams in the league. 5 All-Stars, 2 MVPs, 2 scoring champions, and a soon-to-be 3rd as Cantor is knocked down. Highlight after highlight. Right now, a 5-point game as we open the 4th. Cantor will shoot 2.
And a big play right there. Steve Kerr upset, and rightfully so. Dion Waiters traveled with the basketball prior to the pass to Cantor. Got away with it.
Cantor, 4 points off the bench.
Ball don't lie.
When you take a look in transition, how many steps does Waiters take? Certainly got away with a traveling violation.
Did you see the one on Josh Smith the other night? How many times
stay on the other side of that screen. He did. He's supposed to stay on the other side.
That was funny.
Let's work that shit. Come on.
6-point lead. Varejao back in. And Varejao playing his 4th game with his new team. Dangerous pass. Curry finds it. Trying to draw a foul. Waiters drives on Varejao. Former teammates from Cleveland. Ball knocked loose. Picked up by Curry.
Come on, this off, bro.
Bounce pass to Barnes.
Come this way.
Barnes misses the
layup. He was there. Look. It was good pass either way. I was waiting for him to hit that off ball though.
Waiters, the 3-pointer misses. Varejao hauls it in. With Festus Ezeli out with a knee surgery, Varejao getting some important minutes down the stretch of this as Robertson comes barreling into Varejao.
I've never seen a man scream and fall down as much as Varejao. And he gets the call.
I ain't missing him, bro.
I mean, it is. He could be fined $5,000 on every screen and fall.
Curry finds Varejao and misses another layup. Couple of nice passes from Curry, but back-to-back missed layups. Cantor down low and finishes. He is so good around the basket. The lead back up to 8. Curry tries to go back door, and Durant with the foul. That's going to be 4 on Kevin Durant.
Well, Durant playing as the point guard finds Cantor underneath and a beautiful fadeaway. Cantor's got a really nice touch around the rim. Excellent footwork. Beautiful shot.
And Steve Kerr wants a timeout. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Golden State trailing by 8.
NBA Saturday Primetime on ABC, presented by La Quinta. Book now at LQ.com to get the lowest price. La Quinta. And Sunday.
A little earlier tonight, Steph Curry driving in transition. Westbrook lands on his left.
I knew he hit that motherfucker.
Curry exits the ball game. Certainly coming back. Warriors, brass, and team breathing a sigh of relief. Welcome sight. Curry with the touch. You're late on rotation. You pay the price. How about saying a single? Allow me to have this dance. One-on-one, knocks down the long ball. Looking like Steph Curry that we've come to know and love.
Varejao draws the foul. And he'll go to the line.
Come this way, somebody. Come on.
Well, Golden State, the best three-point shooting team in the NBA, led by the best three-point shooter in the history of the NBA.
That should have went up.
As Curry.
He was behind me.
With 7 of 10. Nobody else has hit one.
But Mike, besides Curry's greatness, which can't be disputed, their passing ability, to me, sets them apart. You watch Iguodala make that pass as Kanter stunts early. They have so many gifted passers, particularly their bigs. Bogut, Iguodala, Green, front court players can really pass the ball.
Curry's going to sit down. You see again just a slight limp as he goes off the floor. Livingston back in with Thompson, Varejao, Barnes, and Iguodala. And both missed.
Yeah, I thought he was going to float. I thought he was going to go into. I thought he was going to go at him, bro.
Shooting team by both teams in a game that's had some unbelievable offensive highlights. Durant's jumper, got it.
Ooh, I'm about to say somebody.
And you can just look at his body language. He's sending a message. He understands Steph Curry's greatness, but he came tonight on a mission, telling the world, I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere.
You got win. Come on.
Another jumper gives him now 32 for the game, 32 and 10. Iguodala from outside, can't get at the ball. Robertson the rebound. Westbrook finds Kanter, and he's shoved from behind. Now Westbrook has 9 assists, but he's all night long. He has found the bigs down low. He's done a great job looking for the open man.
Much improved decision maker. There was a time in his career where he takes that shot and forces him to get off the offensive boards. This time recognizes the big guy is wide open. Beautiful drop pass, and now Kanter going to the line.
That was your hit, boy.
Kanter off the bench with 8 points. Lead back up to 11. Here's Westbrook's numbers.
He could have dropped it
this year as well. Career high from the field. He's shooting 46% from the field. Career high rebounding. Career high assists.
They are up double figures against the Warrior team, turning the ball over 19 times.
Golden State has yet to score here in the fourth as we approach 3 minutes gone by in the period.
But they've dominated the board, doubling up the Warriors.
46-20, a plus 26. Livingston falling away and one. John Livingston with his 3rd field goal. It's back to 10.
2K.
Robertson 2 fouls.
Tallest point guard in the league. He's at his very best in the paint. Good contest by Robertson, but he's got to pull back a little bit.
Come on, I ain't even trying to go back
never fouled the jump shooter, but a beautiful shot by Livingston.
Only 2 starters in the game right now for Golden State. Well, they finally get on the board here in the fourth. Durant in and out, and Green the rebound.
2-3.
Well, the Warriors have had to come from behind even in the fourth quarter a couple of times on this road trip that ends here tonight. Thompson, pull-up jumper, got it.
And when the Warriors throw the ball in the post, they're not throwing the ball in the post ever to score.
Iguodala deflects it out, never touched Kanter.
They're throwing the ball to initiate action, screen. So right there, Varejao did a good job setting the screen, gives Thompson a little airspace to create the next play. And as a player defending that stuff, you cannot relax when the ball goes into the post.
Robertson wide open, high arcing three, misses. Singler the rebound, put back misses. Cantor tips it up and in. 11 points for Cantor. 7 of them here in the fourth quarter.
They're bludgeoning Golden State on the board right now.
48-21.
I tell you what I love, defensively, the way that Russell Westbrook is going after it. He's competing at a high level defensively. That time switches off Klay Thompson. There's been times where he allows the basketball to be passed into the guy he's defending. Tonight, active hands, forces it out of bounds, and gives his team second life.
That rebounding number is staggering. 5 to shoot. Thompson steps back. Three-pointer, short. Right back out to Iguodala. Pass inside. Barnes with the flush. Draymond Green now. He only has 1 point. He hasn't had a field goal, 0 for 5, but 11 assists and 9 rebounds. Back to 7. And still plenty of time.
Hell no, I was looking at it.
Remarkable job of hanging around in a game where, if you didn't know it, you would say they were being outplayed badly.
Iguodala ahead of the back, behind the back, but then throws it right to Durant. Durant had 40 in the first meeting between the two. He's got 32 so far. Green with a deflection. Finds its way to Singler. Livingston. Thompson in the corner. A three-pointer. In and out. Westbrook looking, forces it up, blocked by Thompson, right back at him. Durant finds Adams, Adams blocked by Draymond Green. What a rejection from Green, and then Adams touched it while he was out of bounds. Fantastic defensive play.
How many times this half have we seen Draymond Green come over and protect the rim?
That's
a big time play. Not on my watch.
That's a big time foul. What are you looking at?
It is a foul.
Yeah, that's a big time play. That's a big time defensive play. Give credit where credit is due.
You're just a Thunder hater.
Green got away with that one with 6:07 remaining. His team trailed by 9. Welcome back to NBA Saturday Primetime, presented by La Quinta. Almost midway through the fourth, a 9-point OKC lead.
Kevin Durant is an absolute offensive machine. Shooting it from deep off the catch. Coming off the dribble into the pull-up three. Gets away with a little carry, but the crossover into the three. And then the Dirk 1 foot step back. I mean, this guy has it all, and it put it on display against a great defensive team in the Golden State Warriors.
You know, we came here a couple of years ago when I was coaching the Warriors, and KD gave us 54. Threw everybody at him and was trapped as soon as he crossed half court. He's that great offensively.
Adams on Thompson. Barnes has Westbrook on him. Height advantage. Westbrook bumps him. Barnes can't hit. Rebound knocked away by Green, out of bounds. Thunder ball.
How about the quick breather? Kevin Durant about to come back into the ball game. Right decision by Billy Donovan. You don't want to mess around against this high-powered Warrior basketball.
Curry defending Westbrook. Westbrook falls down, tries to call time, and he gets it. Draymond Green and Adams with some words. We'll take a timeout. Against college basketball coverage continues this week. A big Monday doubleheader. First at 7, Syracuse, and number 7, North Carolina. And then at 9, second round Kansas against number 25, Texas. That's a big Monday doubleheader on ESPN. The Golden State Warriors, meanwhile, trailing here in the fourth quarter. They come in. Their latest winning streak is 4 in a row, 52-5. And counting tonight, they've got 25 games remaining, 17 at home, including after tonight, 8 of the next 9 at home. But they still have 3 games with the Spurs, another game with the Clippers, another game with the Thunder after tonight. They have to go 21-4 to break the record, 20-5 to tie the record that the 95-96 Bulls did with their 72-10 season.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned Kansas. They're going to win their 12th straight league title. Bill Self, 12 straight.
That's pretty incredible. Barnes on Durant. Curry guarding Westbrook. Shot clock at 4. Westbrook leans in. Short jumper. Off the rim, no good. Livingston tips it to himself.
And they've got Steven Adams guarding Sean Livingston. He's still got to get help and support and protect the rim.
Barnes drives and misses. Barnes had a couple of layups here in the fourth. Unable to get it to fall. Their last game, or a couple of games ago in Miami, they were down in the fourth quarter, had to come back and win the Warriors. Westbrook drives and finishes. Tough shot. He like shot out of a cannon driving baseline there. Westbrook goes for the steal, but can't come up to it. And look at his teammates going to help him out.
But forget the finish. We're going to see a beautiful offensive play. The thing that interests me, though, is the defensive rotation and then the pursuit of the ball. Because if they're going to make a jump into that Golden State Warrior territory, into the Spur territory, it's going to be with defense like we've seen here tonight through the first 44 minutes. And it starts with their best players bringing it each and every night.
Green inside to Thompson. Thompson gets that one to go. Thompson now with 21. Normally Golden State down by 9 with this time remaining. You say, oh, they certainly have a good chance, and they do. But they're playing against one of the best offensive teams in the league. It's so tough to stop. 5 to shoot. Ibaka in the paint. Ball tipped and taken by Curry. Green did a great job knocking it away. Curry to Thompson. Thompson for 3. Short. Durant with his 12th rebound. Westbrook on the drive to the rim. Way off. Ibaka the rebound. Turns. Can't hit. Westbrook's tip doesn't go. Curry to the basket. Layup is good.
Oh shit. I was already getting off anyway.
28 for Curry. Back to 7.
They're very slow getting into their offense right now.
Steven Adams. Four to shoot.
We down 5. We can get some
and a reaching foul on Iguodala. That's going to be his 3rd. Now, was he shooting? No, they're going to say before the shot.
Come on, you can get a 3. Come on here.
I think the correct call was made.
Oh my God, bro! I'm getting off
when the contact from Iguodala came. So the right call. But if I'm
no, we still got a chance though.
I'm not setting the screen with Draymond Green. Steven Adams shouldn't be setting the screen because Draymond Green is the best defender. It puts him in position to disrupt or to switch with Iguodala.
No, we got another chance. Come on. Get the screen
where you can make plays out of it.
Let's go.
4 to shoot. Westbrook's got to put it up. Long 3. And a 24-second violation.
And I agree with Mark.
I'm getting back.
Keeping Durant in the middle of the floor, to me. And
foul that nigga. Come on.
You're going to set screens for him. Curry's guarding somebody. Whoever that is, Curry sets the screen. Or if you want to have Durant play off the ball, like we saw in the first half, have Curry's simple pin down and allow Durant to work off of that.
Curry from downtown. It's good. Curry from way downtown. It's a 4-point game.
But you don't overreact. Hey, he made a shot. That's good defense. Great offense by Curry. My goodness, what do you do?
He's got 31. This is the closest they've been in the fourth quarter.
Usually you lose. That's what you do.
Why you just use both the timeouts? Oh my God.
Durant can't get it to go. Ball knocked loose. Green had it taken away. Green
You use both the timeouts, bro. Type fried shit is bad. Why you use the other timeout though?
Curry on the drive. And a foul call against Westbrook.
Either way, if we would have made our bucket regardless, you called the timeout. We wasn't going to win regardless.
Green, so it's Draymond Green who's going to shoot the free throws.
And you don't overreact. This is great defense. Adams is there. The contest is there. Curry knocks down the shot. Clap your hands, give him credit, but trust that the game plan is secure. That's not going to beat you overall. That's great defense.
Another missed free throws. Golden State shoots 59% from the line. The Thunder 57%.
And this is the first possession we've seen where Oklahoma City has downsized and put Durant at the 4.
By the way, Curry with 8 more three-pointers tonight. So 18 in his last 2 games. He had 10 on Thursday night. 3-point game as we approach 2 minutes remaining. The Thunder led by as many as 12 here in the fourth quarter.
I don't know if I can get off for the hell.
Durant gets it out to Robertson. Westbrook for 3. Too strong. Robertson keeps it alive at a new 24. And Billy Donovan wants timeout. Big offensive tip back.
Niggas can't mess with this bitch.
They have out-rebounded the Warriors by 30.
Oklahoma City's the best rebounding team.
If that was you call that timeout though, you just blew it though.
Golden State here tonight by 30 rebounds. Westbrook active with the beautiful finish. And then Serge Ibaka working over the smaller shot.
I thought everybody knew that shit. Like, call one timeout.
First Singler, and then Cantor.
We could just score.
On the follow, and then the last possession. Oklahoma City is really struggling to get good shots off.
We could have scored easy as fuck. We just called the timeout.
An extra possession with the tip out.
We had 4 seconds. All we need is a quick pass in there.
Iguodala on Durant. Durant on the drive. Foul. Green came over to help out.